friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. I'm Heather if you're new here, and today we are going to be building my TBR for the Trick or Treat-a-thon. Now, if you did not see my announcement video yet, I am going to be a captain for one of the teams for a fall and trick or treat Halloween type readathon, and it's going to be bingo style. So today I am on to kind of make my bingo board and then talk about some books that can go with some of the prompts I pull. So I'll make sure to have my announcement video linked for you guys so you can check out more of those details, because I'm not going to go into everything here. We do have a Discord that I will link down below if you want to join in on the readathon. I am captaining Team Magic, so we have our bingo board. We have a pre-made one that you can use, or you can make your own, which is what we're going to do today. So there are also prompts to use to fill into your own bingo board. And so there's 33 total prompts, and one of the prompts is a team prompt that is required to be on the board. So for Team Magic, that is the prompt of Witching Hour. So the book has to have witches or wizards in it. So that one will end up on our board. But before we get too much into all of those logistics, click down below on that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also my Instagram and Goodreads are linked, so you can talk to me books on every platform here that I have. So let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to do this. So first, we're going to make my bingo board. Then I'm going to go look and see what books are happening and what I had in mind to read and how they're going to fit into all of the prompts. And how we're going to pick is I have all of the prompts on little pieces of paper here, and we're going to just pull them out. So we're going to go just like we're reading from left to right and then top to bottom on the bingo board to fill in the prompts. And then I did put number 8, which is the Witching Hour prompt that has to go on my board, is in here. I'm hoping we'll just pull it out at some point, and then that'll be where it goes on the board. But if that doesn't happen, then it'll just end up going in the last square. So if we haven't pulled it by that last square, I'll just put it there so that it's on the board, because I do have to have that. Sorry if you hear a little bit of background noise. I'm guessing that's my daughter. She's been homesick, unfortunately, which makes life difficult. Filming hasn't really been able to happen, and things have just been a little chaotic. And luckily, we figured out what's going on. She's got some antibiotics. She's going to be feeling better very soon. But I'm going to go tell her to not be banging that around. Okay, I'm back, and it's time to pick the prompts. All right, here we go. So prompt number 1. Squirrel Cash. Read one of the... and I can't read this looking like that. Read one of the oldest books on your TBR. Okay, we can do that. All right, so then we're just moving to the right on that first top row. I'm gonna go with this one. 16, which is Haunted House. Read a book that is set in a creepy or scary location. Okay, the next one. Let's see what this one is. 9. Find your familiar. Read a book with familiars or animal sidekicks. Oh, that's a cute one. Okay, and then the next one, we'll do this one because it keeps trying to get into my hand. 17. Flirt with danger. Read a romance. Yes. Oh my goodness. I've been dying to read some of these fall romances that are on my TBR, so that's perfect. I actually am going to have a video with fall romance TBR stuff going on. Either it came out or it's coming out very soon, so I will either link it or be on the lookout for it. So this will be the last one on that top row. It's going to be number 23, Festival Food. Read a book with food on the cover. Moving into the next row. I feel like this guy's just like, hey, pick me. So I think we're gonna just grab him. 12, Costume Party. Read a cover by book. Okay, I like that because it means that I'm going to be reading something off of my shelves, which is really nice. All right, so let's see what we got next here. We got number 28, Dusk. Read something dark or with night in the title. All right, we really need to get number 8 going here. Let's see if we can Somehow pull that out of here. 5, fall plants. Read a book with leaves or dead trees on the cover. Okay, just like my lovely little background here. I am so excited for the leaves to start changing and the weather to start changing, and like just saw at the store like tons of pumpkins and gourds and all of that stuff, and oh my gosh, we saw a huge gourd. It was like massive at Walmart. We were just like, what? This thing's huge. Okay, next one. We've got 31, your first Halloween. Oh, this was one that I was like, I don't want to get this one. Read something that was published the year you were born. I was like looking at my TBR on Goodreads, and I literally had nothing from the year I was born. And so I was like, I'm really going to have to look into this and hunt something down on this one. So I'll have to see what I can come up with. All right, so we're going to round out that second row with number 19, blood. Read a book with blood on the cover or in the title, or read a book with vampires. Do I have something with vampires on my TBR? I guess I'm going to now. Okay, moving into that third row. Number 6, Harvest Moon. Read a book with a moon on the cover. Oh, a moon on or in the title. I don't think that came across right. I think it was, I probably like printed out wrong, but I think it's supposed to be moon on the cover or in the title. Let's try and get down on the bottom here and see if we can get some of these down here. Okay, we got number 14, treat. Reread a favorite and enjoy a favorite fall treat. Ooh, so we get to do some kind of like baking or something. Ooh, maybe some chili. Oh, chili and cornbread sounds super delicious right now. I just recently made pumpkin muffins with chocolate chips and nuts in it. Ooh, delicious. Yeah, definitely feeling the fall vibes, even though it's technically not fall yet. But it is really, really, really soon. Maybe by the time this is out. Okay, so the next one is, what is that, 25. It's a monster mash. Read a book with monsters, non-human main character. Okay, so this one, we do have the free space in this row. So this is technically the last one in this third row. It's going to be number 2, Change in the Air. Read a book with fall colors on the cover. Yellow, red, green, orange, brown. I accidentally cut off the orange brown part. I realized after I cut it, I was like, all right. So some of these, like, I feel like it's just what's on the cover a little bit more, maybe some colors, maybe those will be a little easier to find some good stuff. All right, let's see what this one is. Number 7, movie night. Read a book that has a movie or TV adaptation and watch it. Oh, I guess I'm also watching some stuff, which is okay because honestly, last year I was totally into watching and reading a ton of like scary books and scary movies. I love scary movies. And I have a really fun vlog that I actually did a bunch of that with and had a really good time. So I'm okay with that. This one's jumping in my hand. 26, let's do the time warp. Read a book with time traveling or set in the past or future. So some time something. All right. Ow. I don't know what just happened. It like, my nail got caught on something. Be careful, jeez. All right, let's, oh, I got you. Ugh, let's do you. 20, screams. Read something scary. Yes, I am down for that. Such fun prompts. I'm just adoring these. Megan did a really good job, and Courtney just like creating all these. They did wonderful. Okay, so next we have 3. Whispers in the dark. Listen to an audiobook. That is so nice and vague, and I love it because I literally listen to so many audiobooks in the month. So that's awesome. All right, we're almost done with row 4 here. So we have 10, corn maze. Read a book that has mazes or labyrinths. I feel like that one's going to be a little tricky. Not totally sure. I can think of one I already read that kind of has that. I don't know if it really, maybe it doesn't. Okay, so for this last row, I am actually going to let my daughter pick because she really wanted to be a part of this video and pick some of my prompts. Okay, so I'm trying to make a bingo board with some of these. So I'm going to have you reach in and pick out some of these. Okay, so go ahead and start with the first one you want to pick. What's she going to get?
This one.
That one? Okay. What's it say? Ooh, perfect. We needed this one. So this is number 8, the one that's required. Witching Hour. Read a book with witches or wizards. All right, we got 4 more. Okay?
That's one I called.
Yeah.
That's the one that called.
That one called to you. There's a reason. Is that the next one that's calling to you? Let's see. 18. Struck with Fear. Read a book in the same spot. If longer book, just keep coming back to that spot to read the book. Perfect. 3 more. Yeah. Okay. What do you got now? What number is it?
4.
A 4. Okay. Campfire Stories. Read a book under 200 pages. Perfect. Definitely have some ideas for that. Okay. We're getting down to the last couple.
It's a 30.
Number 30. Okay. Sugar Skull. Read a middle grade book. Oh, have a couple ideas for that, actually. Okay, the very last one. Pick a good one, Chloe. You can do it. No!
This one is calling to me.
All right, this is the last one. It's calling to her.
13.
Ooh, lucky number 13. Trick. Read a book with 500 plus pages. Oh, no. Oh, so we got the small book and the big book.
Oh.
Actually, I think I know exactly what I'm going to do for this one. Okay, so I'm going to go check out what books I'm going to read, and I'll be back to talk about some ideas for that. Okay, guys, I took a moment and put together sort of a TBR. I don't know if I'm going to stick to all of these, but I tried to find one book for each of the prompts, and we're just going to like try and run through them super quick, so this doesn't take forever. I did pick, so a while back, a couple months ago, I read Hannah Beast by Jennifer McMahon, and it's just like a short, like, it was like 50, 60 pages or something, and I really enjoyed it. It was like this hoard, just really short little story. And I realized that it's from this Amazon collection of 7 short stories called Dark Corners. So I have the other 6 books that I was like, these are perfect. They're like 40 to 70 pages, and I felt like they could fill a lot of prompts, so I could maybe make through some of these. So I do have some of those included in here, and then just other like fall romances and spooky books, and just things that I kind of want to get in my TBR, and then some that I was just like, I had to really try to track down something to fit some of these, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm actually going to get to those, or I might ask you guys for some suggestions for a couple things. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, so the first prompt we got was 29. This was actually a really easy one. It's read one of the oldest books on my TBR, and I was already planning on reading this book. I've been trying to actually read it for the last couple months, and I just haven't gotten to it. And it is like the second to oldest on my Goodreads TBR, and that's The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. And this one's like got some, I think it's like Russian folklore, and we're following this girl, and she gets like a new stepmom or something, and her stepmom doesn't believe in leaving like gifts and offerings to the like frost gods and stuff, and then like strange things start to happen, and I don't know. That's my general idea for right now. You guys will see it in a vlog soon enough. Next, we had 16, which was to read a book in like a scary, creepy location, like a haunted house or something like that. I put Sundown Motel on this one because we have this creepy motel that this woman goes missing from in the 1980s, and then her niece, 35 years later, is going to go back there and figure out what happened on this night shift and where her aunt went. And it's just got the spooky, creepy motel setting, so it's perfect. I also just read the first chapter of this, and I'm like so intrigued. I did a try chapter tag, so if it's out, I will link it. Otherwise, be on the lookout for it. But yeah, really want to get to this one. So then number 9 was reading a book with some kind of a familiar, animal familiar. So this is going to be one of those Dark Corners ones, and it's called Mio Deo. It's by Joyce Carol Oates, and it's 66 pages, so it's kind of a shorter one. And basically this girl, like, things start going wrong. Her like dad leaves, and she gets a stepfather that she's not a fan of, and she befriends a bunch of like cats in this feral field, and one of them kind of follows around. It says, ghostly, white, and affectionate. She is Mia's new companion. So I think that's going to work for that one. So prompt number 17 was to read a romance, and for this one I put in the Coppersmith Farmhouse. This one just sounds like a really good, fun, like cozy romance that's set on this farm out in this small town in Montana. We have this woman, she gets gifted the farmhouse out there, and then the sheriff isn't very thrilled because he thinks he should have had the farmhouse, but there's obviously an attraction between the two of them as well, and so kind of a fun romance I'm excited to get to. This next one, I apparently do not like books that have food on the cover because I was having the hardest time finding a book with food on the cover. And there was a couple that I came across, but that really weren't like screaming fall or things that I was like, yes, I want to read that. So I ended up just putting pumpkin heads in here because there are pumpkins on the cover and that is food. And this is like quintessential fall little graphic novel that's just all about this pumpkin farm and these two teens, they work there and they go around to all the sites and it's like their last night there, so they want to see everything and eat everything, and it's just super, super fall. So that's what I put there. And then we had a cover by book, and for this one, I honestly don't buy books for the covers very often, like at all, because I am a broke college person, and I really think about things before I buy them. So I'm going to go with a cover that I really, really love, and that's The Love Hypothesis. And I really enjoy this because I think it's a really cute with the blues and the pinks, and then just the sciencey aspects, because I am a science nerd, and I think it's super fun and cute, and that's what it's going to be. Oh, and that is a romance between this grad student and her, like, one of the grad professors or something. They decide to fake date. I don't think they actually work together, so it's okay in that respect, but yeah, it's like a fake dating trope and sciencey, so I love it. The next one, number 28, is to read something dark or with night in the title. So I'm assuming this short story is going to be kind of dark, and it's another one of those books from the collection. It's called The Sleep Tight Motel. It's only 48 pages, and we're basically following this girl. She goes to this, like, motel out in the middle of nowhere, and she has a fake ID, a gun, and a violent lover that she's leaving behind. She's like, he can't find me out here. I'm gonna guess that he probably does. Then we had to read a book with fall dead leaves and dead trees, or fall plants or something on the cover, but I know it said dead trees. And so I did a study in Charlotte. This one, if you can see it hopefully in the screenshot, has some like pink dead looking trees in the background, and it's like a mystery, YA mystery that I think is in the vein of Sherlock Holmes. So yeah, it's Sherlock Holmes' like great granddaughter Charlotte, and she's at this Connecticut like prep school, and there's going to be some kind of mystery, something like that. So this next one, it took me a hot minute to figure out, and I think I already alluded to this, but this was the one where I had to find a book that was published the year that I was born in 1989. And I decided, I've been thinking about reading a Mary Higgins Clark book because back in like junior high, I want to say it was mostly when I read these, I really enjoyed reading her books, and I've been like, I kind of want to go back and read her mystery books and see if they hold up, if I still enjoy them. Were they good for the time maybe? Maybe it was because I was younger and I really enjoyed them, or maybe they're still good. I don't know. So I looked up what book she had that came out in 1989. It's called While My Pretty One Sleeps, and yeah, she just does like kind of murder mystery type books usually. And so we're gonna try that one out. Then we had the blood on the cover, or a story with vampires in it, and I went with The Final Girls Support Club by Grady Hendrix. I am trying to work through a lot of his backlists because I really enjoy his work. This is his newest book that came out, and I haven't read it yet, and it's about a bunch of final girls that have a support group, and then I think one of them ends up dead, and then like they all start getting kind of picked off or something, and yeah, but you can see on the cover there's blood. Then we had read a book with a moon on the cover or in the title, and I'm going to do practical magic here. I actually was thinking this was going to be my witchy book, but I couldn't find a ton with moons that I wanted to read, so this one's going to fit in there. The classic practical magic book. I haven't read the book, I've seen the movie, and I really loved it. We're following like two sisters, very close, both witches, and their journey as witches kind of thing. Then we had reread a favorite and enjoy a fall treat. Not sure what the treat's going to be yet, but I've been really wanting to reread The Hating Game quite a bit, so I might just sink into this one and I'm sure I can fly through this pretty quick. So this one's a office romance, hate to love, and it's wonderful. Next, we had to read a book with a monster in it, or like a non-human MC. This one I have, There's a Giant Trapdoor Spider Under Your Bed by Edgar Cantero. This is part of those short stories. It's only 24 pages, so it's pretty darn short. And yeah, giant spider, there you go. There's not really much more to it, it sounds like, than what you're kind of getting from the title. So I guess we'll find out more when I actually read it. Then I had to read a book that has fall colors on the cover. So red, green, orange, yellow, or blue, not blue, brown, B words, you know. I put Ace of Spades. There's a lot of red going on here, and so we're just going to pull that in here. And it's a thriller, which is good for the fall season. We're following this two kids at the school. They're like the only black kids there, and all of a sudden they like start getting these text messages that are going out to, I believe, everybody in the school that like are telling all of their deep secrets, and they're just totally being targeted. They're trying to figure out who the heck this person is, and I've heard it's really good. 7 was to read a book with a movie or TV adaptation and then watch that. And I actually took a little bit of time to try and figure this one out, because I also was thinking of Practical Magic, but that one ended up slotting in somewhere else, and I was like, I don't know. So I did not realize that Virgin River is actually based off of a book, and so I'm going to potentially read the first book, because I started to kind of rewatch that series. I haven't finished it, but I couldn't remember where I was at when the new season came out, and like I felt like I was starting to watch things and I was like, I don't remember this. So it's like, I'm gonna start rewatching this, and it's a really good like fall book. It's a really good fall season, I feel like, to get into. So I kind of want to read the book and see if it's similar at all. And so yeah, it's by Robin Carr, I think. So then we had to do one where we like had some time traveling, or was set in the past or the future or something like that. So I've got The Lost Apothecary here, which is set partially in the past with this apothecary where this woman gives out secret poisons to women to kind of get rid of their oppressive men in their life. And then we also have a present day timeline where this woman is she finds like an old vial from it, and it kind of like opens up her world, and she's trying to figure out more about these unsolved London murders that are revolving around this. So we're going to see both timelines, but definitely a part of it set in that past, and we're really following that timeline. Even in the present day, that's what we're trying to figure out about. All right, so then we had to read something scary, and for this one I'm going to do another one of those short stories. It's called Oak Avenue. This one sounds kind of creepy. It's like this young wife and mother, it says, new to town and to its secrets, learns just how much she doesn't know in this tingly tale of all the things hiding in the dark at the top of the stairs. Yes, okay, I'm curious. 72 pages. Number 3 is to listen to an audiobook. For this one I put in For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. I enjoyed, he started it last year by her, and I want to get into this new one. It's got this academic setting with a professor that thinks that all his students are like stuck up and snobby, and I don't know, I think maybe he's killing them or something. I'm not totally sure, but it sounds intriguing, and I enjoyed her last book that I read, so hopefully it'll be good. The next one was to read a book with a maze or a labyrinth, and I was like, what the heck book do I have that fills this prompt? I was totally going to ask you guys. I googled it, and I do have Pure Nessie on my bookshelves, and apparently there is a maze or labyrinth or something in there. I don't know. I forgot to grab the book to show you guys, so I'll put this screenshot up. But it's following, like, I think the house that Pure Nessie lives in is like this weird maze thing or something. But I've heard it's just kind of odd and strange. So sometimes that works for me and sometimes it doesn't. We'll have to find out. And then we get to number 8, which is our witchy prompt. And for this one I have These Witches Don't Burn. And we're following Hannah, who's a witch in, it seems like the modern day, but she's got to keep it quiet. Can't be seen by the rags. And Then something happens at the end of the school year, like bonfire, and there's like dark magic, and she's gotta like be like, I'm gonna save the world or something. I don't know. But I think like she has maybe a coven of some other witches and stuff as well. And so I don't know. I've heard good things. I think there's some LGBTQ plus rep in this one as well. Then we have to read a book in the same spot. So I was like, okay, well, we're gonna put another one of these short stories in there because I can just do that really quick while I'm staying in one spot. Not that I don't read in very particular spots normally anyways. So this one is called The Remedy, and it is only 29 pages. And it's like in an asylum, and this guy has to go get a treatment, and he's like, oh, this is totally working, but I'm pretty sure there's something else like sinister going on. Then we had to read a book under 200 pages, so I'm gonna do another one of those short stories from that collection, The Tangled Woods, and this one, like, this guy goes on a road trip to see the worst of America, but maybe the worst of America's in him, something like that. I don't know. Some of these I'm like, oh, what are you trying to say? So we'll find out more when I actually read it. I'm thinking that I'll probably like do one vlog where I read all of these and then tell you my thoughts. I'm a little concerned that some of these are not going to be great, but I'm hoping maybe at least a couple of them are good. And then we have to read a middle grade book for number 30. And for that one, I think The Girl Who Drank the Moon would be a really fun one. It's kind of got some witches in it, some fall spooky vibes. And this one, we're following like this witch who's in the woods, and once a year this town like gives her a baby and they leave it on the edge of the woods for her as a sacrifice. But she's like, why do these people do this? And so she gives the baby starlight and brings them into a different town to get adopted by other babies or other parents. But one of the babies she accidentally gives moonlight, and that gives the baby magic. So she ends up raising this one, and then somebody in town decides that they're going to go after this witch. And last was to read a book with 500 plus pages, because of course we gotta throw another chunky book in there. Why not? This one I actually know exactly what book I would like to get to, though. It's going to be available very soon on my Libby app, and I'm dying to get to it. And that's Empire of Gold. It's the last book in the Daevabad trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty, and I am dying to get to it. We're following a story that involves Jin and this girl who accidentally like conjures one, and he takes her to the Jin city, and then there's like all this different political stuff going on, and she's like thrust into everything, and she's like, what is happening? And it's wonderful. So if you like a good fantasy story that's just gripping and plays with political alliances and different cast of people and just, oh my gosh, there's just so much going on in that story and I love it. But we're not going to get on that rant until I read the last book in this trilogy, and I'm so excited to finish it. Okay, that's it. Hopefully this video isn't like a mile long. If you made it this far, throw a haunted house emoji or a ghost down below. And definitely check out the Trick or Treat-a-thon. I hope you guys will join in and have some fun with us. And I'll be seeing you soon. Bye, guys!